Hello, everybody. Let me get organized and see who shows up tonight. Oh boy, another hot one here. Hey, Miss Weenie. Miss Weenie, you want to come on? Susan won't be able to be here. You want to hold my hand? You want to hold my hand? She's at a get together with her mom. The home is celebrating 4th of July. No, she didn't have it. No, she didn't. No note. Okay. TV on. Um no, she actually sent me a message. Not on Facebook. Not on Facebook. Hold on, let me see who this is now. Oh no. Well, believe it or not, my air conditioner is working. That's all that's important right now is that it is actually working. Uh-oh. What's that? Okay. Yeah, because what happened, okay, so let me try and remember. The week 2 weeks ago, it went out, right? And I didn't come on Wednesday, but then they came out and they fixed it. And then I came on Thursday, right? I think so. I don't remember. Then I came on Thursday. And then on Monday, the same thing happened again. Um, and then by the time they were able to come out and figure out what's going on, then it was too hot, so I didn't go on last week at all, right? I think that's what happened. I don't even remember now. And so they fixed it on it was either Thursday or Friday of last week, and it's still ready. So what had happened the other times is it'd be fixed like Wednesday or Thursday, and by Monday or Tuesday of the next week the symptoms came back. This time it didn't. So anyway, yeah, you guys had to fend for yourself last week. Oh yeah, because I thought I'd be able to go on, but because the days were even hotter, the heat in here, it was like too much. It was like, I don't remember what it was. It was close to 90. So hey Elvis. Oh, Sherry, did I say hello, Sherry? Oh yeah, I did, right? I don't know. So yeah, it was pretty crazy in the heat department. So at least it's nice and cool. Can't complain. It's been working really nice. So there. Um I honestly, because I didn't go on, it really made me kind of forget what the heck we were doing. And then I realized, oh, we've got the new kit that you guys got. This one, right? And I don't think we had started this one. Had we? I don't even know. I know we made the postcards together, a few weeks ago. We did the because we're doing this like in you know retro time. I'm confusing myself, but I know we did these together, and that's the ones that we're making with this kit. I know that much because I do remember doing that with you guys. And these are because for this kit, the letter is supposed to be talking about extinct fauna, and the postcard is about lorikeets. Then the letter has to include something about Haley's Comet, and then the postcard something about shimmering. So that's where we're at. Slowly had to figure that one out. So this is one of the postcards. Remember we made like about 4 or 5 different ones with the different backgrounds from some jelly prints that we had done. Hi, Lucy. Uh, and and so we did all those together, and then I incorporated together. It was just supposed to be shining, but I incorporated part of the other of the theme, which was Haley's Comet. So that's how that turned out. And I had some little you know, shiny stuff. So I put it on the comet and on the moon. I guess that's Saturn. Saturn's usually by the moon, right? Who knows? I don't know. Oh, Janice is here. She knows. She knows. So that's what I did with that. And then we have the written postcard in the back. Oh, hey, I didn't decorate that one yet. Oh, we can do that. Oh, and I happen to have some old stamps. You know, my collection of already canceled stamps, and one of them had a moon on it. So I thought, aha. So if I can find another one like that, maybe I'll put it on this one. So it'll go with the theme. Okay, so what we did, or what I did with my materials, I know you guys know how to make all kinds of journals by now. Oh, you know, I was looking uh, on my channel, and I went back and looked. And do you know things that I thought we just did like last year or the year before? We did it 5 years ago. I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe how much time had gone by. I just didn't have a sense of time with all these projects. So I think that's why I'm getting like you know, trying to come up with these new ideas. But then some of the ideas we did, it was like a long time. But I'm thinking that you guys that are with me right now, you've been with me all along. So it isn't like new people are here and they haven't seen certain projects. You guys have been here forever, so you've seen them all. Oh, Janice had to work today. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Poor Janice. Oh. Anyway, so in the kit, what I did, I'm really getting myself all confused here. Okay, so the letter that I wrote, or that I should say, the letter that Lyra wrote, she's letting her know. Well, I'll read it. It's a little short right here. How timely your card arrived. Now her card was the. I'm not sure now which one she's referring to. This one or this one. I already forgot. See, I did this already over a month ago. And honestly, once I've done something, I move on to the next thing, I forget what I did. So, okay. So either she's referring to this card or that card. She goes, "How timely your card arrived. There is a reading tomorrow night of some of Elvira Zambani the what did I name her? The Almedos. Oh yeah, she's Spaniard. Some of her writings. Some passages come from her novel. Oh yeah, it's for this one. From her novel De Duna del Espejo. So I will enclose any copies of the reading if possible, and I will send to you. Love always, Lyra. So then what I included in the kit is a bio of that particular author, which, by the way, it's all fake. She's not real. The book isn't real. But anyway, so a bio of her, and then an excerpt from the book that's not real, that has to do in reference to this. So that's all there. Uh-oh, how'd that get cut off? I don't know. Okay. So all of that goes together with these postcards, right? And we already made the postcards together way back when. So you got the fronts and the backs. And this all has to do with the moon and Halley Comet type stuff. And then this stuff has more to do with the lorikeet front and back. Susan is with her mom. They're having a 4th of July party at the home. I don't know how many are going to be letting off firecrackers, but I don't know about these people. I don't know. So she wasn't sure she'd get back in time, and I told her don't sweat it. So here is, oh, hi Hassan. Hi Allie. So so this was in the kit that went with the lorikeet. Now the lorikeet ends up being on the islands, so Papua New Guinea. So I put in some printouts of the island life, and then some tropical stuff because it's supposed to be the extinct fauna. So, and then the first letter about her being that she gets. This is in response to this postcard. All right. So that's all the goodies that were in there. Plus some of these napkins. And then this died. Oopsie. Oh, this died Pendaflex. And then this reminded me of something celestial, like the sun or the moon. So I threw that in there in case somebody wanted to make a soft bound and sew that in or glue it on. And then some fake lorikeet stamps. And then you got also a little stencil of some kind of, they're all different, but they were all hummingbirds. So that is that. And so what I made out of that was this. And I put a fold out here with some of the stuff that was in the kit. There's still room for those that like to write or want to glue some more things on there. There's plenty of room for that. Hey, Linda. Susan's not here tonight. She's with her mommy, shooting off fireworks. And then I put in the postcard right there. And then here is one of the letters. And then I took some of the, where'd that go? I took some of the napkin and put it on here because also there's several pockets here. I just haven't put anything in there yet. And that's one of the printouts. So is that. And then I just put some of the papers that were in the kit. I filled it in with some coffee and tea dye paper that I already had. That was there. Hey, Lindy, how you doing? And then here's the postcard. the lorikeet one. And then I put also the napkin there. And this comes from that napkin. So what I did, because those of you that have already worked with, oh, forgot the back. Hold on. Hold the phone. And that's also one of the printouts. And there's just a little pocket I already had made. So I stuck it in there. And then back here has the correspondence, the letters from Lyra. And then this was that the one part of the letter that had the introduction. So that is there. And I think this letter here is this letter. Trying to remember everything. So back to the napkins. For those of you that already work with napkins, you know that in your box. What box, Lindy? I'm not a box person. What are you talking about? What did you get, Lindy? Spit it out. So back to what I was saying. As far as the napkins are concerned, you know that once you peel this all off, you have to lay if you want it to look like that, you have to lay it on white cigar box. Huh? What are we talking about? Oh, is that what you're trying to do? I don't know. So what I did is on top of this, I put a little bit of white paint, and then got the piece of the napkin and glued it down. Right? Hey, Gail. Miss Popo's not here yet. She may not make it. She's with her mommy. So that's what I did with that. And then after I put the napkin on there, the white was a little too stark. So I just kind of, just got a dirty one of these. I didn't really add any more to it. And I just kind of toned it down a little bit so it wouldn't be so stark white. And I did that with this also. With that. So for those of you that haven't been here like forever and know how we did all this, I'll go ahead and show real quick, because it's super simple, how to fold this all. And we can do that. So I ended up, how much did I take off? So you can see here how they have the 3 areas here. So what I did, so that it wasn't so long and strange looking, so that the papers would fit nicely, I cut this part off right here. And I just tore it off like I always do with my what you call it. Where'd it go? And I did it pretty much just kind of hard to see. Let me do it. Start over here. It's easier. And I left it go over just a little. Whoops. A little bit of a lip. Probably a 1/4 of an inch. Can you see that? Yeah. So All right. So that's how I cut that down. All right. So then, because I did that such a long time ago when I cut that down, I saved this. Who knows where it ended up? I was going to end up using that to make the pockets that I put on here, but I lost it. So I had to find some other paper that I had, and I ended up finding this blue that had this gold on there, which was perfect because it made it look like it was going with this kind of celestial theme there of Halley's Comet. So it worked out just fine. But save that, and that's what you can make your pockets with down here if you don't have celestial homemade paper. Okay, so then all we do is I fold this into here, leave a little bit of a gap. You know, don't make it right on the seam, on the fold. Give it a tiny bit of breathing space. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. Which way did I fold that one? Hello. Oh, folded it in. So now I like to leave the tabs. I know a lot of people don't like them and they cut them off, but to me, that's the whole fun of file folders, or else you could just use construction paper. So you decide if you want those tabs to stick out a little bit, which that's what I like. So I'm just going to fold it flush with this outer part, and whatever hangs over, because that's the way I like it. And if you guys don't like that, well, you can always cut those off. Okay, so here you got the main construction of this right here. And then you just put your signature in there. Well, before you put your signature, you make your pocket if you want a pocket. Put your pocket in there. And then over here, you have all this that you can decorate, and you can put your signature in there. And then with the other piece that you have left over, because you've got both ends, then you have enough to make your pocket back here. That in a nutshell. Lindy, yes it is. That's the kit that's there right now in the shop. So that is pretty much it. So now I can show you what I did here is I just made some squares and painted in there to put these on. So let's do that. Where is my paint? Where did I put my white paint? That's a good question. Let's see. Well, this isn't white. Maybe I should have used this in the first place. This isn't white, but I didn't like it white. I wonder if it'll make that much difference. The reflection. I don't think it'll make that much difference. Let's just try it. What the heck? We'll be able to see right away when I put them on there. I better look up and read for a little bit, you know, because Susan's not here to read for me. Okay. Poor Allie. She only came for Susan. She's so disappointed. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Allie. It's only me. Oh. All right. Well, let me get a brush. Let me get the hairbrush. And let's see, I had a little piece of card that I used to trace out with. Where did it go? I guess I can just wing it. It really doesn't matter. Okay, I have no idea. So we'll wing it. Okay, so I'm just trying to get it kind of sort of in the same spacing. Okay. And then I left some room for some writing. I just scribbled. I really didn't write nothing. I don't think I did. Oh, yeah, I did. I looked up the name of some of the butterflies and scribbled those down. Hey, how come I can't see where that is? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I try to make it look all, authentic. Didn't do a very good job, but made me look like a mad scientist. They don't write very nicely anyway, so I think that worked out. All right, so you can kind of sort of see the 3 blocks there, and then I just filled it in with some paint. Whoops. Let me make sure they're halfway straight. Won't be totally straight, but halfway. Halfway. Just as long as the butterfly fits. All right, and the rest we can just erase off. Let's see how this looks. Uh-oh. Hey, Auntie! Miss Popo's not here tonight. She's with her mommy. She's trying to be a good girl like you. You're a good example for her. I wonder if that's mixed up enough. Let me see if I even like how that color looks. So let's test it on here. I'm not sure if that'll reflect the let's just try it. Let's just try it. What the hey? All right, where is my... Oopsie. Okay, so woo! I'm gonna put this out in discussion for you guys. And don't hold back. You don't have to be nice. I mean, be nice, but I mean, and that's if you want to share, if you want to share. It's not a prerequisite. But I was talking to a friend of mine, okay. And I've known this person for a long time. We've been through a lot of different things together. I've known her for probably 30 years. She was maybe a little longer, 35. Anyway, um, I was in her wedding. She was in my wedding. And, her kids are grown and gone. And she was telling me that as time has gone by, she has realized that people that she thought was her friends really weren't her friends. They were acquaintances. Even though they'd been acquaintances, 10, 15, 20 years, um, she did not feel, at least her definition of a friend, that they did not turn out to be friends. And that as she is aging, she is wanting less and less to even try to make friends, because she figures if she invested 20 years in somebody and they did not turn out to be a friend, why should she invest another 10, 15 years on somebody that is not going to be their friend? And so we got into this long, I guess, philosophical discussion. And what was really weird is that throughout my life, I've only described maybe a handful of people as friends. The rest are acquaintances. I could distinguish, who who was there for me and who was there for themselves. And I think that's a distinction that a lot of people don't make until it's crunch time, and then they realize, wait a minute, I did this and this and this for you, and now that I need this, you don't have the time? What's going on around here? I thought we did for each other. I thought we were there for each other. But anyway, so it was kind of because she's an outgoing person. It isn't like she's an introvert and she wants people to come to her and it's all about her. That's not her personality at all. She's a very giving person. And it was kind of, I don't know, almost disheartening to me to realize that, in this point in her life, she was, feeling regret and feeling she had wasted effort and emotion and time and loyalty to really people that didn't deserve it. Down the road, they didn't deserve it. And then we started discussing about how maybe friends used to be friends, but the world has changed so much. Just simple things like technology. You used to, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I used to call up a friend and say, hey, you know, you want to go for a cup of coffee or you want to go out for lunch or whatever. And people don't even call each other anymore. People don't answer the phone. You have to text them. If you don't text them, you know, you're never going to hear from them and they're never going to hear from you. And so even just the way that we communicate is different. And, a simple thing like, oh, let's go shopping. Well, now everybody shops online. I mean, who goes shopping anymore? Oh, or even just interacting with people at the grocery store. Well, hello, they leave it at your doorstep now. So even interaction with strangers is almost non-existent, let alone with your friends. So anyway, I put that out there, ladies. Do you think, or what's your experience when you've needed your so-called friend? Is your friend there for you? Do you even have a friend anymore? She was saying she doesn't even care. She's got me and one other person, and we live in a different state, so we can't even like socialize in the traditional sense, like let's go have lunch, let's go shop, let's go do this, whatever. Or I have to go to the doctor's. Can you take me? You know, we can't even do that for each other. Gail, it isn't so much needing somebody. You know, I don't see it that way of needing somebody. I just see it as an interaction with people um, that has kind of slipped away. I mean, I think technically I could say the same thing, Gail. Like, oh, I don't need nobody. But psychologically, we do need to interact with other people. And that's even slipping away, for the things I just said. I don't know. Maybe her and I were just in a mood that day. Maybe none of it's valid. Okay, so Janice says she's okay. So her best friend is a homebody, and she like, well, that's great. At least you have somebody you can talk to. No, I understand what you're saying, Gail. I honestly do. Um, I get it. Now, see, and see, my quote unquote need um interaction with people has changed over the years. I know I used to be the person that gave all the parties, had people come over, brought people together that maybe didn't know each other, but had things that I thought they had things in common, and so I would like, I would give a party, get together, whatever you want to call it, almost like I was casting a play or something. I thought this person would have similar things with this person. I thought it would, the conversation would move around and it would be interesting and it wouldn't be all just, people looking at each other, wondering when they could go home. um, I tried to make it interesting. And I did it because I had fun. I wasn't trying to, um, you know, be known as the party person. It was fun to me to bring different types of people together. And I always cooked something that I'd never made before, something exotic. I'd look up a recipe and, sort of like now how we did the different countries and the colors and the, you know, when we did the Silk Road thing. I kind of did that with get togethers, you know. the food would be there. I'd even have the music. We would just kind of submerge ourselves into whatever that theme was that night. And I had fun. And and I guess because I moved a lot through our marriage because of Richard's work, I was kind of always getting to know new people. And, you know, everyone can agree on food. So, so that's just what I did. I invited people over. And there again, if you want to split hairs, people should have been inviting me over. I was the new person in town. I was the new person involved in, whatever the situation was, whether it was work or whatever. But no, looking back, I wasn't invited. I was doing the inviting. Again, I did it because I enjoyed it. I don't regret it. But it was just in pondering and thinking about what she was saying, I was going, yeah, I wasn't the one invited. Everybody was waiting for me. Oh, what kind of party is she going to give, you know, the next time? And, what is she going to do next time? Oh, this is going to be cool. Wait till Rosemary has her next party. And I didn't give it a second thought then, but now reflecting on what she's saying, like, yeah, who invited me to their party? Who went through all the effort that I did? I would have enjoyed somebody taking care of all the responsibility and just inviting me to come over. But that was very rare. Uh, oh. Anyway, so we're gonna do the same thing we did here. We're gonna do with these little blocks right here. So as I'm chit chatting, what we're doing there and there. On this one, I left this. I didn't paint this one because I wanted to put her there. But you could also put one right there also. But I just did it on those two. So that's what we're doing. Okay. So anyway, okay, let me read. Yeah, exactly, Auntie. That's how I ended up feeling. Always having to do it. Okay, so yeah, that's me, Auntie. You and I are twins. Oh, now you've been invited. Yep, Gail, that's me too. I was supposed to do all that. So what happened with me, okay, so these are the places I've lived. I started off when I got married, we were living in California. People very sociable, people like to, and again, it's a different time. We're talking about years ago. Things have, everything has changed. But people were very sociable, liked doing stuff. But again, you know, they wanted me to be the one, like, oh, when are we gonna do it? When are we gonna do it, Rosemary? We're gonna have the next party, Rosemary. And I was like, and I was okay with that. But again, like I said, reflecting, I'm going, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the heck is going on here? Okay, so there in California, it was me. I had to do it all the time. But I noticed when I moved to the East Coast, we moved to Rhode Island, and okay, here I'm going to say some stuff you may not want to hear. Oops, I don't. I think that's not far enough down. I think when I moved to different parts of the country, I ran into different nationalities. Let's put it that way. Different nationalities. People that lived in certain areas, sometimes are predominantly, um, people live in clusters, right? So when I lived in California, it was more, oh, let's just say Caucasian people that were involved in my circle. At one period of time, because of where we had to move, because of my husband's work, it just turned out that way. Okay. So I had to do all the inviting. Never got invited anywhere. Moved to Rhode Island, and it just happened that where we ended up, I would say I think the majority in the area we lived in, they were Portuguese and Cape Verdeans, the most social people I've ever met. I don't think, I mean, I was there for about, let's see, we were there for about 4 years. And um, I think I only had to give a get together maybe 2 or 3 times. All the rest of the time we were invited to their houses. The most gracious, inviting people I think I've ever met. Cape Verdeans and well, I take that back. The Hawaiians rank right up there with the Cape Verdeans and the Portuguese. And anyway, so there it was a lot of fun. And then it just was right up my alley because they had such a rich culture and so much food and music and dance and stuff I had never been exposed to. It was like going to one of my own parties, but it was for real. That was their real life. They weren't making it up. That was so much fun. So much fun. And then from there, we moved out to the outskirts of Chicago, South Chicago, and then that all changed. No Cape Verdeans, no no Portuguese. um, yeah, it was quite different. Um, lots of lots of Polish people in the area we were. A lot of Polish people, lots of Irish, and what else? I forget what the other else was. So that put kind of an end to all that fun stuff. So then I had to start all over again and create a new circle of friends, and then I had to be in charge again. I got in charge all over again. Um, and I had already been spoiled by Rhode Island, so that was a kick in the pants. Like, oh no, I have to do this again. It was so much fun just to go to someone's house. Okay, so that was what I would call a bummer time. Although I did make some good friends, it was just different types of friends. It wasn't the same. I need to put a line down here. And I've still got like 2 friends from then, but that area that I'm still in touch with a lot. Okay, so then after that, yay. So then after that, I think it's after that. After that, we moved to Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii. Okay, again, just like the Portuguese. Well, irony is, there Hawaii is full of Portuguese influence because the Portuguese, you know, they were mariners, and I guess in the 1800s, the Portuguese started colonies there and stuff like that. So there's a whoops. So there's a lot of Portuguese influence. So when I went there, I said, "Huh, I know these people. I know these people." So there, it was the same thing like in Rhode Island. People had you come over, they treated you like family. They did extend themselves, they do anything for you. You needed something, boom, how many? How many of us you need? And they were there. It wasn't one-sided at all. Give me that color over. I better read. Let me read. Let me read. The Golden Girls. So, I'm just catching up with you guys. So, anyways, it was wonderful. I made great friends. Now, see, I know, like, if for whatever reason, like, let's just say I had to move back to Rhode Island tomorrow, I know certain people that would instantly say, "Oh, you have to come back. Okay, you can stay with us while you're looking for an apartment. No problem. Yeah, bring a dog. Dog's okay. Bring the dog." And I'd have glorious food every night, and they wouldn't take a penny from me. If I think of Chicago, nope, can't think of any situation like that. "Oh, you're coming back? Oh, well, let us know when you find a place. We'll come and visit you." If I called my friends in Hawaii, "You can stay with us. Let us know when you're going to get here. We can pick you up at the airport. Don't rent a car." So fast forward, I move here, and nobody, if you don't go to their church, they don't have anything to do with you. Hello, goodbye. What church do you go to? Would you like to come to our church? And if you don't, well, see you later. Things here are very conditional. All right. I'm back there. So anyway, I don't know what any of that has to do with exactly we started off at, but I went off in a totally different direction, I guess. Yeah, Linda, you're right. That was a pivotal point for everybody. And I think it really shows how we can get conditioned so quickly for the good or the bad. But the fact that for such a long time we were told basically don't socialize, it it almost trains you to stay that way, depending, I guess, what age group you were in. So, so if you're comfortable that way, if you're a homebody, I guess it really doesn't matter, as far as socializing outside of your home. But even if you're a homebody, I don't think it's healthy to never be with people. I mean, emotionally, mentally healthy. I mean, unless it's just jerks around you, well, then it's probably more healthy to be alone than to be around a bunch of jerks. But yeah, Linda, I hear you. And then, it depends, if you have, like me, I don't have any family here at all. So it isn't like, well, forget about friends outside the family. I'll just maintain my family. Well, my family's not here. And Richard and I never had children, so it isn't like, oh, the grandkids are going to come and visit soon. That's not going to happen. So I'm glad. I guess I'm glad that I did what I did when I did it, as far as being the hostess with the mostest. I had fun. And I guess your priorities just change. Oh, see, family. Yeah, some people, even their family isn't somebody they want to be around. I hear you. Yeah, I have two brothers. That's all I have, and they are not nice people. So I really don't have a relationship with them for many, many years. And I'm not of the whoops, it's 8. Oh, people, 8 o'clock. Hello. I don't have the thingamajigger. Come on, you balcony people. Show your stuff. Oh. Hey, Linda. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Janice. Hi, Ellie. Miss Elvis and Lindy, Miss Gail. But yeah, so I don't have family except for my dogs and my hubby. And I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I am not of the belief that when people are horrible all their life, that once they get older, you should be nice to them. You were horrible. And just because now you're older and you've lost that energy to be mean, that doesn't mean you're not that person still inside. So I don't believe in that. Oh yeah, Linda, thank you. Hi Vicky, hi Ruth, Alana. Hi Donna, like Alana. Hello everybody. Okay, we're getting there. Taking us a little while, but hey. And then after you do this, you can just erase your pencil marks if they didn't get painted over. Right, Linda. Yeah, it's just not worth it. And I don't know what your experience is. This is just my family. I don't know if it's a common experience. But it's almost like parents um, take the side of the bad kids over the good kid. Maybe because they feel sorry for them, or maybe they feel guilty for how they came out. I don't know what it is. I haven't figured it out. I haven't spent too much time thinking about it because it just aggravates me. But um, people that knew me when I was a kid, they would always tell me, "Oh, you were such a perfect kid. You know, you never did anything wrong." Yada yada yada. And I will tell you, I was Miss Goody Two Shoes. I did not want to do anything wrong. I didn't want to displease my parents. I didn't want to get in trouble for anything. I was a Goody Two Shoes. Yet my parents take my brother's side on everything. Like, hello, I didn't do this and this and this. They did this and this and this. And you're still taking their side? Okay, whatever. I don't know if that's common. I don't know if you experienced it for yourself or if you've done it yourself with your children. I don't know. Again, I haven't been a parent, so I don't know what goes through parents' heads when it comes to stuff like that. It just baffles my mind. Oh yeah, yeah, Sally, Fern, Ruth. Yay. Oh yeah, where is Carla? Okay, we'll say hi to Popo too. Well, my mom one time, I don't even know if she realized what she was saying or if she didn't care. But there was a conversation. We were having a conversation. This was like maybe 10 years ago, and I don't remember. I honestly don't remember what the conversation was surrounding. But what came out of her mouth stuck with me. And she says, "Well, the boys are my favorite." And I thought, oh, what parent tells their child that the other kids are their favorite? It's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I knew they were the favorite, but like for it to come out of her mouth, it was like, oh my gosh. What kind of mother are you? Okay, let's see. Oh, she was not joking, Lucy. This was dead serious. And I mean, I already knew that they were her favorite. There was no doubt in my mind at all. Because no matter what wrong things they did, they could do no wrong. And let me tell you, I won't get any details, but they did some bad stuff. And my brothers are very manipulative. They just out and out lie and manipulate my parents. Okay, I need to do a little touch up. It's got a little blotchy up there, but I think this will work pretty good. My dad had, let's see, how long ago was this? This was um maybe 6 years ago. My dad had surgery, and it was pretty serious. Everything went fine, but he needed they needed help, in the house and stuff. So one of my brothers moved in with them, and and when I found out he had moved in, I thought, uh-oh. Well, within a month, my mother would not answer the phone when I would call. And I knew it was because of whatever lies they were feeding them. And I don't know what it was because I wasn't even speaking to my brothers at the time. So it wasn't like a conversation that we had had and they, manipulated it and changed it into something that it wasn't. I mean, there wasn't even any communication between us for years. But when I saw that, I go, wow. So then the only time they'd answer the phone is if my dad was home. And then I'd hear him ask my mom, "Oh, you want to talk to Rosemary, whatever." And then, kind of embarrassed, my dad would say, "Oh, she's busy right now." But I heard her say no. I heard her say no. Oh, she's busy right now. She'll talk to you later. Okay. And this studio that I'm in right now, we remodeled this in hopes that my parents would come back here so that we could, watch over them and be closer with them and stuff like that. That was, I don't know, how many years ago was that? Maybe 10 years ago. And that fell flat. My brother said, "You can't move over there." Yeah, because you won't be able to manipulate them anymore. Well, they didn't. But I have a studio now. But you see now, people their age, whatever friends they did have, they're probably not alive. I know, like my dad's two best friends, no longer living. Um, my mom was close to two of her brothers, no longer living. So they're very isolated. All they have is my brothers talking in their ear all the time. So that whole situation gets my husband very upset. That's about the only thing we argue about because he'll say, you need to blah, 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 blah. And like I'm going to convince my parents of anything. I said, no. I said, I am not going to try and convince them of anything. How many years have they already had this belief system about the a family dynamic? I'm not going to change it. Why should I waste my breath? How old are my parents? My mom is, let me think. They are each going to turn 90 this year. But trust me, age has nothing to do with it. They've been like this forever. Forever. Ow. Okay. Then we'll let this all dry. We'll put the napkins on tomorrow. Oopsie. Ta-da! Okay, so I know it looks kind of crazy. All this white stuff on there, but that's just going to let you put your napkins on and have the colors show through pretty nicely. So that's that. Oops, let me get this out of the way. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Linda, I know. I know. I've accepted, all the stuff going on with my parents and everything. It's just that having that conversation with my friend, just started my wheels turning in all kinds of directions, realizing how it affects my life in a direct way, and then thinking about my parents and everything. So, whoopsie, just kind of went in all kinds of directions. I wanted to show you guys while that is drying. See how long that takes. Um, oh, it's perfect, Gail. Let me tell you. Um, the symptom. Okay, like for the past 3 weeks, something happened with my air conditioning every week, and they came, they fixed it within 3 days, kaput again. Same symptom. They fixed something which was different from the first time, worked. 3 days later, kaput. So the last time they came, um, my husband told him, I think it's a blah, blah, blah. I don't remember what he said he thought it was. And the guy says, well, it might be because we've tried everything else. So they switched that out, whatever it was, and it hasn't broken again. Usually it was only lasting like 3 days and then kaput. It was, not working again. So now it's been working since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's been working 7 stinking days. I'm so excited. So, so guys, if you didn't see these, I have these in the shop now. I had showed you guys these coasters I made. Not toasters, coasters. Coasters. So they're in the shop. I got them all cleaned up and sealed and dried. They took a while to dry because we were having very humid weather, and things just weren't drying. Before they were sealed, they have to be completely dry before I seal or put the back on. So they're all dried up. They're sealed. They have their backing, and I'm selling them in pairs. So it's in twosies. Twosies. And I put a matte finish on them. I didn't want them. There you go. You can see the finish. Yay. Whoopsie. Anyway, you get the idea. So then yesterday, let me go get some. They're not dry yet. Let's see how they look. I haven't even I washed them off, but there's no way they're dry, but I'll bring some. And I haven't even had time to look at them once they were dry. So I'll bring some over. One second. Oh, my knee. Oh, my knee's killing me. Hello. Oh, they came out neat. Oh, but I gotta put this in some water. They're not dry though. Oh. I use different plants on these. Okay. Hey, Joyce. So these are a little bit different. I use some of my pecan tree, and these are, oh, what is the name of those plants? On the tip of my tongue. Oh, I forget. Forget. They're all over the place, those plants. They're in the hibiscus family, but they're called something else. No, not that, Joyce. Uh, at least that's not what they're called here. Um, Other places I've lived, I never even noticed them. They might be all over, but I've only noticed them here. What are they called? Rose of Sharon is what they're called. There you go. Yeah, Jan. I should have looked up, Janice. Yeah, they're pink, but when they print, they come out this light bluish color. Where is that's one right there? See, a bluish color. A lot of pinks and reds, they print a blue. Oh, you do, Janice? Oh, how cool. I've only got the pink ones. Oh, I bet the purples would print really cool. Not all the leaves were off of that one. That's one of those too. Oh, I haven't even printed with wisteria. I don't have any, but down in that area where everything grows wild, behind a couple of streets behind me, there's some wisteria plants back there. I should try grabbing some. I'm really leery about grabbing stuff that's wild out there because there's a lot of poison ivy. I Poison ivy and I do not get along very well. When do they bloom? Are they already blooming? I don't remember when those. I haven't driven down that area in a long time. That one section where they grow. I know the leaves would, they start in the spring, but when do they bloom? Oh, spring. Okay. Anyway, so these are fun to do. Oh, honeysuckle. It grows wild out there too. I haven't tried it. I used to have a lot of honeysuckle in this one area in my yard. And then one year, poof, they just died. And I mean, died to the bone because it never came back. So I don't know. Something ate the root and killed it. I don't know, but it it was gone. Hey, you back? Hey, hey, hey. So anyway, that. So I'm gonna put them out in the sun tomorrow. Hopefully they'll dry if it doesn't rain. Now I'll show you. And you can see obviously how much more absorbent the paper is because I put a folded up piece of paper in between each tile, and you can see more of the printing happened on the paper, and you can see how that really a lot of blue on there. Sometimes hard to tell if it's the flower or print. That's a print. I thought it was the flower. And these are just starting to bloom. So there's going to be a whole bunch pretty soon. Only thing I don't like about these is they are full of ants. The ants, I don't know what's in these, but the ants just love them. So when I pick them and bring them in to work with them, oh, there's ants all over the table. So I'll put those out tomorrow so they can dry. These are still damp. Pretty damp. And then, okay, so I don't know how many of you guys saw it or not. Ugh. I was in the mood. So I put an extra kit up the other day. And it is an African kit. I started playing with it. I started off with, excuse me. Yeah, the paper's still wet. So are the tiles. So what I did, okay, first of all, paper. This paper is super cool. If you like making, if you like making more grungy or rustic. Hold on. Well, where did that go? I was going to tell you what it's called. I tore off the label, and now, oh dear, because I don't even remember what it is. That's why I tore it off, because I knew I wouldn't remember. Okay, Rosemary, what'd you do? What'd you do with this? Oh boy. Oh, here it is. Hello. Okay, so this stuff is pretty thick. And it's a little thicker than cardstock. And it's very, very sturdy. Very sturdy. And it comes in a big giant roll. And I just cut it up whatever size I want. And I got mine at Home Depot. This goes well, they use it for a lot of different things. Some painters use it, and some some people will put it underneath when they're laying down the what do you call that stuff? Laminates and stuff like that on the floor. Anyway, this is what it's called. X paper. X paper. And It's 26 inches high, so it's big, and it's 100 feet. I've been playing this with this already for a couple of years. So it probably isn't something the average person would go and buy, because unless you need it for a project, a construction project. But I doubt you'd get it just for your everyday making journals. But it's cool stuff. And oh, I don't know. I don't remember what it cost when I bought it. I, I know it was under 20 bucks. Might have been 14, $15, something like that. But that was like a couple of years ago. So I don't know what it would cost now. But remember, when those of you that bought the kit when we did the bee, that thing we did, and we had the lights and the up and down, you remember that, right? Well, when I made that kit, I made it with this. So this is the stuff you guys worked with if you worked on the on that bee contraption. That's only when you finished. Well, that was this paper. That's what this was. So I cut out, what size? I don't remember what I cut out now, to tell you the truth. Let's do some measuring. I cut out pieces that were 4.5 by 5.5. And in the kit, I've got a whole bunch. It's really thick in textile and fabrics and stuff. So what I did is I hinged these all together with the fabric that's in the kit. Now all these fabrics. Let me go grab a kit real quick. Instead of doing an abstracts. Yeah. Oh God. What did I draw? I heard it. I don't see it. Oh dear. What did I draw? Did you guys hear that drop? Oh dear. One of those escapees. I don't see nothing. Oh dear. Okay, well, gonna have to live without it. Oh, you like it? It would drive me crazy. People with dyslexia should not be left alone with a contraption like that. They'll either commit suicide or hurt somebody close by. So when I made those other tiles that I showed you first, these are the papers that went in between. So I put in some of those papers and a little bookmark that I did with some of the plants. That goes in there. Then, if you remember, I had a whole bunch of the, there's a word for this, the salvage, hello. The salvage from a lot of the African fabric that I had. So I threw some of those in there. Oh, and I don't have it here. I took it next door. And we made a bunch of beads out of them. And they came out really super duper cool. So I put a little bit in there to make the beads. And if you don't want to make the beads, they work really well if you want to make tassels, right? And then this little metal doohickey that has, it looks almost to me like peacocks. Two birds face to face. It's hard to see, I think. There you go. See it right there. Beak to beak. So that's in there. Then a bunch of these beads in case you want to make, the tassels, or if you just want to put the beads. Last time we did one similar to this, we put this on the spine. It looked pretty cool. So you got those beads. Then those of you that have been with me for a while, you understand my fascination with mud cloth and with real African wax fabric. So you're going to get some of that. So this is the last, the ones I put in my kit are the last of my mud cloth. But I found some mud cloth pre-dyed. It hasn't been dyed. Nothing's been done to it. It hasn't been printed. Nothing. And so I'm going to try and eco print it. I'm supposed to be getting in the mail in a couple of days. It cost me a little fortune, but yeah, I hope it prints or else what a waste of money. But you know, the cloth is just so beautiful. I guess even if it doesn't print, it's beautiful. The texture of the weaving and everything, it's just really pretty cloth. And so so those of you, again, you most of you know, real African fabric. It's a certain process they make it, and it is has the print on both sides. You can buy stuff that looks like African print, but it's printed on it. You know, it isn't dyed; it's printed, and it'll look like any other fabric from behind. It won't look identical. So anyway, so I had a bunch of pieces. They're all going to be different what you guys get because they're all these leftovers. So you'll probably get different colors than what you see here. Now these were some that I'd already cut out, so those are in there. Then I had some batik, so I put some strips in there, and those could look really good for either the tassels or for making the beads again, whatever. And those fabrics, there were different ones, so you may or may not get this exact pattern. Then I had some other pieces left over that weren't necessarily in those little squares that I had done. Those are two batiks there, and then some more pieces of the African print. And then this guy that looks like a giraffe, and then a large piece of cantha, in case you wanted to make a cloth a cloth cover if that's what you decide to do. So lots of stuff to play with. And some of them have the blue, the indigo. Some of them have the tan, and some of them have a brown. Hey, Roseanne. Oopsie-doopsie. And then I love these little cards. I keep hoarding them, but you know. And then some of the really thin, what is this paper called? I forget. At least I know it's not Rose of Sharon. And some mulberry paper. I printed this on some construction paper, so it's not the white. No, it's not the tea bag. It's named after that bug. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but that's the name they gave it. Anyway, you know that irritating bug, all the big noises, goes all over the place. You know. Somebody will know. Anyway, so I did this on construction paper, so it's not like, you know, stark white. It's creamy. Yes, cicada. That's right. Cicada. That's it. That's what it's called. But I don't know why. I don't know if it's actually made from the bug or it's just a name they give it, but that's what it's called. I never really researched it. And then these my favorite printouts, all different ladies from different parts of the continent. Uh, if I get the blue in my kit, can I? What? It won't destroy it. It won't destroy it. I hope you wash it. Lightweight yet strong. Okay, I get that. That makes sense. And then I got from my grungy pile, I just put some grungy papers so they'll all be different, but you'll get some grungy earthy kind of papers to incorporate into your journal. So that's goes back there. So that's what's in the kit. So if you have, any cardboard, if you have, um, cereal boxes, whatever, it'll be a little thicker than this, but it doesn't make any difference. It might even be nicer being a little thicker. But anyway, so I cut those 4.5 by 5.5, and then I took the fabric that was in the kit and just kind of strewn all them together. Oh, and I backed it all with whatever leftover um, jelly prints that I had. So I know lots of you ladies have jelly prints. You never use them. This would be a good opportunity if you want to make a little book like this and just get cardboard or something and then cover them all up with your leftover jelly prints. And then that becomes the hinge. And then you have your little book. Then I also cut a slightly smaller piece to have it flippy flop up on the top. Not every single place, but every once in a while. Then I started gluing some of the pictures that were in the kit. If you've been here around, you're going to recognize all of these prints. We did them all together. So I started with, just putting down some stuff. And then I'm going to come back with, I'm not sure if it watercolors or maybe pan pastels or something. And fill in maybe some of these areas where there's some color. That's after I glued everything down that I want to glue down. So that's how I'm doing that. And then where'd they go? Well, I'm not sure where they're at. Oh, here they are. I had some of these book covers and I cut them in half because I felt like making something on the smaller side. So I'm gonna make a more of a traditional journal and make a spine and have that as the cover for that. So I think I had 3 covers. Yeah, I had 3. So I cut those down. So that'll give me 3 different little books right there. They were a little different size there. So that's what I'm going to do with some of the other material in there. So I think it'll come out kind of fun. I think so. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think so either, Roseanne. Yeah, the colors. I love it, right? And none of them have to match. Just whatever because if you made a bunch of your jelly prints, you're using colors you like, but you may not think they all go together. But trust me, I've been, doing this crazy mixed media stuff long enough to know that we all have our favorite stuff. And no matter if we think we're not doing it right, we're doing it right for our eyes because we're picking colors that we like. And then when we get them done, we probably think, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. But then you bring out your stuff, weeks, months, years later and lay it out there and it's going to match for your eye. You're going to be drawn to it because it's colors you're drawn to already. So don't fight it. Just put them all together. Put them all together. Oh, you're working. Oh, I'm still waiting for that magic wand to show up here. Clean up my place. Oh my God. Okay, let me show you. Just to show you how I am really, really bad. Renee, Renee. She she was destashing some stuff. I know. I'm the one that should be destashing. But I couldn't help it. It was this fabric that she was destashing. So I bought it. And we're going to be doing real soon. We're going to be doing an Asian kit. I'll have the storyline taking us somewhere. I'm not sure which country yet. But let me show you. Let me show you real quick what I got from Renee. And I don't know how much I got of each because it was just whatever it was. You couldn't say I want so many yards of that. It's just whatever it was. But let's see here. And she's so funny. She threw this in. She goes, I know you'll be able to use it. Which I will. She knows me way too well. But anyway, look at this. Oh, and she gave me some, oh gosh, tape. More tape. But look at this beautiful, look at that. No, not Renee, Suzanne. Renee, hello. Renee down in Texas. What does your channel go by? Oh, I forget what her channel goes by. Oh dear. But look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I don't know if you can really see the color, but it's like a peacock color. It's so gorgeous. So that's going to be in there somehow in the kit. And then, oh, they just got more. Oh my goodness. You can tell I haven't opened this yet. And then this is so pretty too. And of course, it goes gorgeous with that. So, you'd have to be like, blind not to want to get that, especially if you like Asian stuff. And then she had this piece of batik. If I'd already had that, I'd have put it in the African one. Well, there's not enough in here anyway, but look how pretty that is too. And then she threw these in for me to play with. A bunch of yo-yos. Look how cute. Not for the Japanese or Asian kit, but hey, we are dealing with a storyline from the 1800s. So it all works. It all's gonna work. And then she put up another lot today. Oh God. And I bought that one. So that'll be coming soon. So I'll have all that before I put this kit together. But needless to say, and hold on, there's another bag. There's another bag right here. Oh, and this, she just gifted me that. Let's see, let me find the other bag. Mm-hmm. How pretty. This isn't Asian, but it's still gorgeous. We could fake it. We could fake it, right? And then this one, it's got the, oh, can you see? It's a linen. Oh, bamboo. Bamboozled. Bamboozled. And bamboo and Asian. Hello. That's it. Until the other bag comes. And you wonder why I can't declutter my place. Okay, what else is in here? Oh, that was just all that. Okay, that was that ephemera stuff. Okay, so don't you love it when people know you? Look at these. I've never seen such little boxes for dominoes. I mean, I have some of those dominoes that I work with, but they're not this small. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this has like engraving there. So I won't be able to I don't think I'll be able to decorate these like I did my other dominoes, the big ones. But the box I can make a little journal or something to go in there. Too cute. So 2 of those. it almost looks like the bird lady. Except she doesn't have the things in her hand. Very similar. What is on there? Aww, that is so cute. Huh. It's like a laborer in Mexico. It looks like a it's very similar to what's his name? Frida's husband, Diego. His artwork looks very familiar, similar to that. And then, hello, microscope slides. Anyway, fun stuff. I really like that. That is really cool. Yeah, she dropped her bowls. Okay, ladies. Well, we got a little bit. We got a little bit done. A lot of talking. We survived the whole 2 hours without Susan. I can't believe it. I really wanted to bug her about that. The guy that she said was innocent. He pleaded guilty. Did you guys see that? That Kohlberger guy, the guy that was accused of killing those, stabbing those college students. She was adamant he was innocent. They were framing him. Yesterday, he pled guilty. Yeah, Brian Hamburger. Oh, and then what's his face? The other guy, Mr. Diddley. They only found him guilty of 2 out of 5 today. That was kind of surprising. But oh well. I know, Roseanne, but you can't tell that to Susan. She was ready to go out there and ask him to come and live with her, Yes, Joyce. She was adamant he was being framed. Kohlberger, that is. Yeah. Yeah, he pled guilty because he didn't want the death penalty. But if you watch the interviews with the parents of the ones he killed, they are so mad. So mad. Because they wanted, they wanted him to get the death penalty. So they're not happy campers right now. I know, Joyce. Let's talk about her while she's gone. Well, she might be home and she might be watching right now. If you see someone right up there with some weird name that we've never seen before, that's Susan. She's got some aliases. Yeah, I really wanted to bug her about that today, but we'll have to save that for another day. Just like she thinks that other guy. What's that guy? The guy in the Carolinas that killed his wife and son and who knows who else. She thinks he was framed too. I told her if I was ever, arrested for something and had to have a jury trial, I would want her on the trial. She'd get me off for real. Oh, is that why? She's depressed. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, Miss Alice, they are saying, I don't know, this is just what they're reporting, that he was found guilty on the lesser charges and that he may only have to be sentenced the time he's already served. He may actually just go home now after all of that mess. after all of that mess. But anyway, anyway, my husband always says, "Yep, the United States has the best um yeah, the best judicial system if you've got the money. If you got the money, it's the greatest." Oh my goodness. All right, ladies. It's 1 minute after. We survived the whole 2 hours. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Hanging in there. Well, they had refused to bond him because of the RICO accusation, because that's really way up there. But he was found not guilty under that, so he probably wouldn't get sentenced. He got found guilty on the lesser of the 5 indictments. So you know, that's just the way it is. All right, guys, see you tomorrow. Be ready to give Susan a rough time, because of Mr. Hamburger. And I'll see you guys then. Hopefully, I still have air conditioning. Good night, everybody.